The most important thing is to just keep at it. Whatever you're doing doesn't really matter who says what, and if there's people doubting your creativity, or if you're not sure about, if they're not sure about you, you need to really believe in yourself and keep at it. Because the people that you surround yourself with might not understand what it is that you're doing, but somebody out there will. And I always think not to just limit ourselves and think, okay, maybe because you're in Gauteng, people in Gauteng need to.
Hey kids, and welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. How are you?
I'm good. I'm laughing
Fantastic.
because we've been through a lot this morning trying to get all of this sorted. So
Technical difficulties.
all the technical difficulties in the world.
Crazy.
But I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you.
I'm
It's
so
a pleasure.
excited to chat to you.
I'm a bit nervous because I don't know what kind of questions you're gonna ask me, but I'm hoping. Yeah, it's chill
Listen,
ones.
you write your own story. That's what I believe in life, and that's how I actually
fantastic.
approach this podcast as well. So yeah, let's dive into it, right?
Okay.
So wait, before we begin, I was just want to tell the audience, because I was just saying, I think the first time I met you was about the first time I met you was like 4 to 5 years ago.
Yeah.
We were at Mercedes, I think it was
Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week,
yes.
yeah.
And
'Cause
what's funny is that a friend of mine and I both won tickets.
Oh, so you also won tickets?
We both won tickets
Sure.
separately.
I just got an invite. I didn't even ask. I was just like,
we
let's
entered
go.
this competition and won tickets, and we could both bring friends.
A plus one,
Yeah,
yeah.
bring a plus
Okay.
one, and she brought you, and that's how I met you.
Yeah.
But guys, when I tell you that Kentse, we went there, we were getting our VIP treatment. It was so much fun.
Drinking
and
champagne.
we were drinking champagne.
So
Do you
relaxed.
remember?
Yeah.
And you were working.
Yeah.
You worked. You went there with intention.
Yeah.
You were working. I literally sat there and I was like, look at this girl. Like you were working. I've never.
Can't really
for
remember.
For me, it was just so beautiful to watch, and I will always remember that, because I was like, this is a girl that knows what she wants, and she's going for it. You weren't distracted by the fact that obviously we want this VIP treatment.
Yeah.
You weren't. That didn't even distract you.
No,
Didn't even
definitely
deter
not.
you.
Yeah.
And you went in.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, the most important thing was just having access to the platforms and meeting people, networking. Because sometimes, if you don't place yourself in the right positions, you hardly ever make the right connections.
Yes.
So when I got those tickets, and a friend of mine was like, "Come through, let's go have champagne," I was like, "You can always have champagne, you know,
Yeah.
any day. It's just
Anyway.
that." This is fashion week and I'm in the fashion industry, so I need to focus. That's
Yes.
basically it.
Yeah.
And have fun at the same time,
And have
because
fun.
it was quite nice.
Yes. Oh,
Still
wow.
I still have like cute pictures from that evening.
Yeah,
it was
same.
quite cool.
it was an amazing
Yeah.
evening. But okay, so let's get into the podcast, right? So on this podcast, we like to start all the way from the beginning.
Ooh.
I want you to take us all the way back to younger Kentse, growing up. What kind of a child were you? Your primary school life, your
Yeah.
high school life, all of it.
Well, growing up, I think I was a handful. I mean,
Really?
Yeah, I was always in trouble. 'Cause I used to test my parents, always make sure that I don't know, I just didn't like fitting in. I always wanted to do something new, try out something exciting, and I was very adventurous. So obviously, when you're young, your parents can easily dismiss it as ADHD or ADD, but it's just like, just me discovering new like techniques and just playing and just being myself. So yeah, it was kind of hectic growing up. So I was raised by my grandmother and my dad, because I always share the story and say I was raised, because I mean, after my mom passed away, it was like a back and forth between go dad. It's like how sure you know which direction. But they both had a huge role in my life. So a lot of things changed for me. I think some people always ask me, why did you get into design? And I'm like, honestly speaking, I don't remember the moment where it kind of like clicked.
Landed, yeah.
That I'm going to become a fashion designer. I just needed some kind of distraction from, I think, a really dark period in my life. And I always knew that I was a creative. So I always say if I wasn't into fashion, I'd probably be designing buildings or cars. Because I mean, automotive is also quite interesting.
So what? So you may not have known that you wanted to be a designer. What did you think you wanted to be?
Honestly speaking, I wanted to be, at some point I wanted to be an accountant because there were so many influences on the family. I wanted to be a lawyer because dad wanted me to go into that direction. And I wanted to be so many things, but it was merely because somebody had an influence on it. It wasn't really something in me. So when I actually think about how I got into the fashion industry, even till today, I find it quite interesting because my mom was in fashion. Yeah, she worked in retail. So but I never took that as
one of those influences.
So I remember there were times where I'd go to the store, spend time with her, and that's why I gravitated towards fashion and retail. So she worked in retail, and I think that part of my life kind of contributed to why I got into fashion. And so, like I said, I got into the arts, did some creative work. In high school, there was a young designers competition, which, interesting enough, I got a call from my old high school. They asked me to come and judge the same competition that I started on. So yeah, it's kind of amazing how the universe just works. So the young designers competition, because normally with me, when I see, for instance, if I see something that I want, and there's obviously like different routes that I have to go before I can get to the target, I'll go through it. I'll have to jump, get underneath whatever obstacle that comes my way, but I'll always make sure that I get through to the target. So I remember the Young Designers competition. There was like a cute prize that was that they had for grabs, and I was like, okay, maybe I should just enter because I can do this. And there weren't really many black people in that category as well joining the competition. I thought maybe diversify the competition, it would be quite easy and fun. So I entered, and then there was another friend of mine who encouraged me to enter. And I remember there's just so many things that's coming to mind right now. I didn't have money to enter the competition, so I remember gathering my friends and then telling them about this great opportunity. Like, I was just selling them dreams.
You have always been a go-getter. You were like, there's this thing I wanted, I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, so even till today, I still talk to the same ladies that I think they were the first people to invest in my business. So these girls helped out with getting the seamstress and obviously the fabric, and I had the creative idea, and I just kind of like made sure that I made a product that was worth winning. And then that's basically what I did. And then I didn't win a competition, but I won like a little prize from, like, it was a category, I think it was formal wear. I won that category, and then that was it. From there, I just decided, okay, I think I can do this, because putting clothing together, sourcing fabric, and I kind of enjoyed it. So just from that competition, I knew, this is it. Yeah, this is where I'm headed.
Wow. Okay, so that's interesting. So from between then and the time when you won the Sunglass hat competition.
I didn't win that. People always think I won that competition.
Oh my gosh, really?
I'll just
agree. So associated with that competition. I'm like, you don't think you won?
I don't know. You guys.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so between the competition itself, and then how was the journey of being in the fashion industry? Well, trying to get into the fashion industry in South Africa as a young black girl?
Well, I think from entering that competition was also another way, because how it started off, I was, after graduating, I went straight back home, and I was working from home. So I was making clothes for friends and family. But the one thing that always bothered me was just being in this room, and you can just imagine I was in the Northwest, away from a lot of things. So I didn't have like access to a lot of people, resources. So I just got concerned with the fact that I'm here stitching and thinking that I'm probably like so good at what I do, but if I'm not getting like criticism, I don't really think I can grow. So it wasn't really about winning. Yes, of course there was hopes of winning the competition, but for me it just felt like I needed to step out there and then put myself in a position where I can get constructive criticism.
Yeah. Compete with a larger pool as
Yeah.
well. Because like you're saying, when you're in a small town, it's easy to think,
Yeah, you.
it's easy
You
to
the
think, okay,
business.
I'm killing it. But actually, do you
No.
are you competing against the best?
Yeah.
And are you getting that feedback?
Yeah, I think that's a lot of designers' mistakes, that you tend to believe that you're so good at what you're doing that you don't want to hear what anybody else has to say, and that kind of it's a bit sad to witness. But I think it's important to put yourself out there and get as much information and feedback from your creativity and your work. So that's quite important.
And like, how did it go? Did you get that? Do you feel like you got that experience that you wanted?
Yeah, I got a lot from that. I mean, even the confidence. I was just like,
Confidence.
yeah, because I mean, there was like more than 200 applicants, and I got in. I made it to the top 8. So that's a lot of auditioning and trials that I had to go through, and it kind of wears you all. It is a bit hectic sometimes, because I remember, I will never forget that day when I had to grab a taxi from Brits to Sandton, and I had this huge bag full of clothing, and I remember I was 3 hours late. You can never. It was that bad. But I still made it.
3 hours.
I was 3 hours late.
You must have felt like so horrible.
Oh, Lucilla was gonna kill me. I felt like she was gonna kill me, but yeah, I made it through. I don't know how. I don't know how, but I just remember being present.
Yeah.
You gotta make sure that you're present, you show up, and you give it your best. And there was a lot of challenges, even getting to SA Fashion Week, but I made it. And to me, that was more than enough. So with that competition, I was able to move forward and then enter another competition, which is because I mean, a few months later, I entered Project Runway.
Project
So I was
Runway.
just like, yeah, I got
That
that.
one you won.
Of course, yeah.
That one you won. That one we're 100% clear. You won that one, and I was watching, and it was amazing watching your journey.
Thank you so much.
So, how was that experience, by the way?
Project Runway was very surreal. I feel like every evening when we had judging, I'd literally just sit there and watch the stage, and because normally when I was watching the show back home, I'd always watch it and then I'd see the models walking on the runway.
Yes.
But then at that moment, it kind of felt weird because I was seated in the chair, and I could just imagine myself watching TV, watching myself, and it was like such a weird experience. And I could not believe that I was in the show. And to me, I'd never took that for granted. Like it wouldn't really matter where they placed us. We could be somewhere in the Bundus or whatever. But if I was taking part and making sure that I compete at my level best, that was enough for me. Yeah. So, yeah.
I can imagine that surrealness you're talking about. I watch people doing this, and now it's me in this position.
It's a bit hard to explain, but yeah.
Oh my gosh. And of course, that came with like a lot of prizes, but also publicity, and your name now became known by so many more people.
Yeah.
What was that transition like from pre-Project Runway Life to post-Project Runway Life?
The transition was hectic because it was like a lot of highs and people like wanting to get this and that and having to be everywhere at the same place at the same time. So it was hectic because I had to kind of like get out of my shell, because I'm very like, I'm not really an introvert, but I like keeping to myself. So I needed to just, I don't know, just become more open and I don't know how to explain. There's just too many things going on. Yeah, but it was kind of hectic. I had to just get over my fears and just be present and do what I do best. So since the competition, I haven't really looked back. I mean, every hardship and every obstacle that I've experienced led me to that moment, and it's unforgettable. It really is unforgettable. So yeah, there's a lot to be grateful for.
And yeah, so tell me a little bit more about like how your business has grown since then.
Well, so as you know, with Project Runway, I had a few prizes that I won, which was the Paris exhibition, which was it went really well. I was excited and I learned so much from meeting other designers from all over the world, and I think also with my experience with Edgar's that kind of contributed a lot to where I am right now as a business owner and a fashion designer. So I've had more time to focus more on the business than like basically just trending.
Yeah.
I
The
keep
trending, yeah.
the trending part is just something I haven't
Yeah.
really bossed in, but I've been doing a lot of groundwork, making sure that the foundation is laid solid, and there's just so much still to do. I mean, like I said to you earlier, as much as I won the competition, I still feel like this is like the beginning of so many things.
Yeah.
And for my business, I've learned to work with so many people, different people from all over South Africa. I didn't even know I had such an impact on a lot of people. So I have clients like from, I'd say, Botswana, Eastern Cape, yeah, a lot of places. And I've managed to learn how to take care of the clients that I have and build with what I have instead of trying to get everybody on board and then satisfy everyone. Because when you start making custom made clothing, you'll start realizing that it's very personal, because it's a like even with the studio that we've set up now, we're trying to create this environment that basically looks out for our clients and gives them like an exclusive experience, making sure that their needs are taken care of. And those kind of relationships that you build along the way, you can't really take for granted or find anywhere else. Yeah.
I'm so inspired by that. Like, I love what you're saying, because we had this conversation before we started
Yeah.
recording about how, I mean, yes, you can exist on social media and be that brand that is so well known and trend
Yeah.
or whatever, but at the end of the day, there's a business.
True.
And I love that you're connecting the fact that your business, at the heart of it, it's about the
People.
It's about the people.
Yeah, it's all about the people.
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
can only imagine. I mean, I'm yet to have a garment made by you, but Cummings
Yeah.
will do it.
That's very,
Will do
very
it.
soon.
But like, I can only imagine that if I were a client coming into a design, it is very personal. It's
Yeah.
about me, and it's about, I want to feel good in whatever I leave in at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
I want to feel comfortable. I want to feel like it's me. I don't necessarily, as much as I come to you for aesthetic as a designer,
Yeah.
I want to feel like this is me.
That's true. And
Yeah.
another thing, when somebody, you should always remember as a designer, when somebody knocks on your door and they trust you to come up with, to take care of them, you need to take your job seriously and make sure that it's done properly. So with the years, I think as a designer, we always want things done like immediately. We're always talking about fast fashion. We're always talking about what's in, what's out. But honestly speaking, it's a journey. Like designing is a journey. There's no perfect way of doing it. There's no prescribed way of doing it. You just need to take charge of your life and just make sure that you take the time to fully understand what it is that you're doing.
Yeah.
Because I mean, when I graduated from fashion, there wasn't Instagram. You get what I mean? So there's just so many things that have changed, and how people perceive what fashion is, and we constantly learning. So we, as designers, especially me, I think I shouldn't speak for everybody. I'm constantly learning the industry. I'm learning fashion. I don't want to sound like somebody who thinks that
You've got it all figured out.
they've got everything figured out and they've made it. Yes, in other aspects I've actually made it, but when it comes to my craft, to me it's still a process.
What else, just on that tone or note, what else would you say to someone who's out there, a young designer that's trying to like find their feet or figure their way out in the industry?
I think the most important thing is to just keep at it. Whatever you're doing, doesn't really matter who says what, and if there's people doubting your creativity, or if you're not sure about, if they're not sure about you, you just need to really believe in yourself and keep at it, because the people that you surround yourself with might not understand what it is that you're doing, but somebody out there will. And I always think not to just limit ourselves and think, okay, maybe because you're in Gauteng, people in Gauteng need to like you. You can go anywhere and still make it. So you can just need to find your people, your clientele, and that's it. I mean, there's so many opportunities out there, and there's a designer for everybody. And that's what I always tell people, like, maybe I'm not really like your kind of designer, because if you don't fully understand the type of garments that I create and obviously my aesthetic, then I don't think that I'm the designer for you. So there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, there's really nothing wrong with that. You just need to be firm and stand in your beliefs that this is what you want to do, and then stick to it. That's basically, and that's what sets you apart from everybody else. Because imagine if you basically start doing what everybody else is doing.
Catering for everyone, trying to please everyone.
No, you can't. It's impossible. Yeah. You can't make everybody happy.
Yes,
no.
you can't. No, that's beautiful. Tell me, Kentse, what have been the biggest highlights of your journey, but also some of the lowlights of your journey?
I think my biggest highlight would be the partnership that I've started recently, which is what happened is after lockdown, the COVID experience, I made a few changes in the business, and it helped me a lot. And I've done some collaborations, and I've collaborated with another brand, which is what we doing currently. We're sharing a house with a beautiful women's wear brand, and it's been amazing.
Yes, I saw on your Instagram.
Yeah,
we have a space. Oh my gosh, I'm excited to see it.
Oh, you should definitely come through. Yeah, it would be lovely having you there. So also, partnering up with people that are also in the same industry, same space, and sharing the same vision with somebody who's in business, it helps a lot, because now that you're working, you're not just, I always say you can't do it on your own. You need people to actually assist you in achieving those goals, and basically living up to your full potential. So right now I'm in a really good space, and I love the design house that we've created. I live there. I can't wait to go there right now. After this podcast, I'm literally just driving to the studio and just creating. And that's the kind of environment that I've always wanted to be in, and now that I have it, I've got like basically all the tools that I need to succeed, and I can't mess it up.
Do you have people that work for you?
Yes, we do. We have seamstresses. These young ladies that we recently started working with, they're doing amazing. And they've got a chilled vibe, and obviously with the type of environment that you want to build, we're building for the studio. You want to get as many young people involved, and then also learn a few tricks from them as well. So
what has it been like moving into a leader position? Because now when you have these young people working for you, and not just working for you, but looking up to you as well, learning from you, what has it been like transitioning into that new role?
Well, it's completely different from designing, because
I can imagine.
When you're a designer, there aren't really rules to follow. You just need to break away from all the rules and just do you. But being a leader it's not as easy as everybody makes it seem, because even when you don't feel like setting out the rules, you need to. It's for your business. You need to be firm. It's for your business. It's for your brand, and you need to make sure that always comes first. So getting the team that understands that is, for me, it's very important. It's a blessing to have people that get it.
Yeah. And what are some of the lowlights that you've experienced on your journey?
I'd say COVID.
COVID.
When COVID hit, I felt like I was losing my mind. I was like, because you should remember, when the lockdown started, for the first time, I slept. I felt like I haven't been sleeping for 5 years. So to actually wake up in the morning and not rush anywhere, to me, that was It was so
Like a
difficult.
shock to the system. Everybody's like, what's going on?
It was. So it kind of like, it helped me put a few things on pause. And as you know, I moved from my Harti's studio. I had to close down the studio and move to Joburg. So yeah, obviously with the move from Harti's, it wasn't easy because I remember I had a conversation with Bonolo Mashiko. She's also a designer, really doing well. I had a conversation with her and I was like, Bonolo, what's really going on? Are we really closing our studios because this is hectic? I mean, how are you coping? Because obviously, I think talking to people in the same industry as you who are doing the same thing that you're doing, it helps.
Yeah.
And I had a conversation with her and she was like, girl, you have to do what you gotta do. I let go of my stuff. I let go of some stuff. I had to let go of certain things. And obviously, like I said, you need to adapt. So also part of this journey that we call business is not giving up, because if I was doing it for the wrong reasons, it could have easily just gone south. But this is something I was born to do, and I don't think I'd do anything else but the fashion. So I knew that things were gonna look up if I just continue doing what I'm doing. And I mean, you can literally take me anywhere. I'll still carry my sewing machine, and I'll even try sell clothing to I mean, during the pandemic I'll be there selling clothing and stuff. So it was kind of hard. I had to readjust. I remember starting making masks, anything to just keep the business going. My machine's on. Never switch off the machines, because if you switch off the machines, basically you don't have a business. You just have a hobby. So I had clientele, I had people, I had to make sure first, before the pandemic started, I called most of my clients and I just offered them masks, because I was like, I need you guys to be alive, to stay alive, so they can come back and buy clothing, okay? So here's a mask for you and you and you. And just protect yourself. So that's the first thing
And
that I
think that
did.
goes back to what you said earlier about having that long-term relationship with your clients, because it's a journey. You don't my words. You don't just want to make a dress, ship it out, and you're done.
I mean, it depends on the business model that you have, because we all do different things. But I think with me, it's become really personal, and I think long after I'm gone, I'd love to believe that the relationships and the business module that I've created will continue without me. You just need to keep doing what you're doing and just share as much as you can with the people around you. That's basically it.
So are those all the lows that
the lows came with like a lot of good, because I feel like sometimes some stuff need to be taken away from you so that you can appreciate what you have. So it was all part of a learning curve.
It is. It really is. So what is your vision for Kentse, the brand, the business? But also, what's your vision for you, Kentse, the person, the human behind it all? Like, what vision do you have for yourself, not just for your business?
For myself, I wanna make sure that I spend a lot of time with sharing the like my craft with people, and making sure that, like, as much as I've studied and I've done a lot of fashion, and the experiences that I have, that's stuff that you can't really duplicate and give to someone else. But with the time that I share with the people around me and giving, that's more than enough for me. And obviously in my family as well, I always tell my grandmother, with the stuff, I keep telling her that, okay, Gogo, this is what I'm gonna do. And then she always asks me, how? Like, don't give me high blood pressure because this is too hectic. And then I'll go out there and I'll do it. So those kind of things, I also want to remind them of how important it is to basically go after what you want and being you. So for myself, I think I want to live. I really just want to live. I want to go out there. I want to taste good food. I want to travel. I want to experience new stuff. Just meet up with different people, different cultures, and just immerse myself in a different world. And I'll definitely, I don't know if I can save up for that ticket, but I want to go to I want to go to space.
Yes.
Yeah, now that there's transportation, I think
Yeah.
I need to get onto that galactic airway. So yeah. So if anybody wants to donate,
Just come through. We'll start like a crowdfunding thing for you.
I mean, I can imagine if I can go to a different country or like reimagine myself in a different world. If I can just get onto a ship and go into space, when I come back, I can't imagine the stuff that I'll be doing.
Yeah.
Because I've gotten this far with just imagining it. So being in it and experiencing it, yeah.
So Vele, your experiences shape the kind of designer you are.
Definitely. I think thinking broad and just dreaming out, like dreaming big. And when I mean big, just not having limit, like, just thinking beyond even the universe.
Yeah.
It's just, sometimes I sit there and I try to think about it, and I'm just like, okay, this is a bit too much. Maybe I shouldn't go too far. I might not be able to come back. Because, being a creative, there's a limit.
You need to pull yourself
You need to come back. But I think I'm very confident in where we headed as a country, where I'm headed as a designer, and even as a human being. I feel like there's just too many things out there to explore, and just the experiences and being able to talk about things, even though people don't understand half of the things that I say. It's okay. I mean, I've been through a lot of stuff. So yeah, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, wow.
Well, to me.
Yes, that's what matters, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so now we're at my favorite part of the podcast, where I ask my favorite question. The reason I love this question is based on my favorite quote, which says, "Be who you needed when you were younger." That's my favorite quote. Because I believe that as much as we can never go back and change time, if you needed to hear something when you were younger, right now, somewhere out there might be someone who needs to hear exactly that today. So tell me, if you could go back and talk to younger Kentse, it can be you at any age. It can be you at 12, at 18, at 24. It could be you yesterday.
When you just mentioned my younger self, I'm seeing this afro, like big head. I could never control. If I had to say something to her, I'd tell her that the world is yours. Yeah, just go out there and grab it. It's you don't owe anyone anything, and you basically enough to just you're enough, and the world is yours. You can do anything you want. Anything. That's basically it.
Anything. You can do anything you want.
Yeah, whether it's dancing, singing. Well, unfortunately, I can't sing, and I'm one person that loves singing. But maybe not that. You can do anything
else. Anything else.
Yeah, you can do anything you want.
Yeah.
So I think also in the future, when I do have kids, that's the kind of message that I'd love to let them inherit. So just do whatever it takes to get to where you want to go, and just believe. Yeah, because when you're young, it's very difficult to get to actually even have that support structure when you have something. But I've seen that recently it's changed, and I always see it with my clients and how they are with their kids, and I'm just like, okay, this is the modern day motherhood. This is how parents are now. It's always interesting to witness when you see young girls or children being encouraged by their parents to go for it. And it's such a beautiful thing to witness, and I love it. I love everything about it, and just live your truth. There's just too many things. There's too many things going on in this world. If you just don't know what it is that you stand for, it can easily just
stand in your truth, believe in yourself, because you can do it all. And I actually agree with you. Like, as a child, it's hard to believe. Like, you are told all of these things. You're told you can be whatever you want, but it's hard to believe it.
Yeah, it is.
It's one thing to say these things repeatedly, but to actually believe it, that's the real work.
That's a lot of work. And obviously with how the times are right now, there's just so many outside external pressures coming from social media, from peers. So it's very difficult to kind of like center your thoughts and really listen to your voice and the truth. So it's very important to encourage that at a very young age, because I don't think things are going to get easier moving forward. It's going to get difficult for a lot of us. So the design and the arts it's another escape to heal a lot of people. So
No, it is. I'm saying like that because it actually is. Like for me, this is my escape. The podcast. This is my healing
and this
journey.
is a vibe, hey.
Thank you. But this is my healing journey, so I can actually relate to what you're saying. Yeah, 100%. Oh wow, this has been amazing. How can our listeners, our viewers, get in touch with you? Look at your work, your journey.
Well, I am on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter as Kentse Masilo, and I'll be starting a YouTube channel soon. So for everybody that wants to get into the fashion industry and learn how to make clothing, it is easy. You know, it just takes time and practice. So if you do have the time, make sure that you tune in and then just check out the videos and start making your own clothes.
You have to start somewhere. Just start with your
but
own.
don't forget to come to Kentse Masilo and order dresses. Good job. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, I love this conversation. Thank you.